I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. My stream just literally ended. That's odd. Okay, let's try that again, I think. Yeah, I have no idea what happened just now. Let's try it again. Is it because I opened up a new file? Alright, anyways, Alright, glad to see that everyone is back, I believe. If you want to just comment a little hello, then feel free to go ahead. I will re-explain what I'm doing just in case there's a new viewer here. What I'm doing right now is I'm currently working on my comic. I'm working on this page right here of my comic for the webtoon Strangers in Arms. And if you want to watch it, it's on Webtoon again. Only the first chapter is out. This would be not chapter. First part is out. This would be the second part. I went to go open my palette and it just closed on me. But that's okay because we're back now. So this right here is the palette. You can see all the names and colors of the characters. Don't copy them. I'm going to start by coloring Sinclair and then I will follow that up with King. First. Alright, gotta make sure I'm on a different layer so that I don't mess it up. I'm going to start by coloring this bottom one first. And don't mind that it's not technically it's not really inside the lines really, but that's okay because I'll be covering it up with the next color. I will not be covering that up, gotta fix that. And for those who do use a drawing program, how do you color yours in? Do you prefer like bucket tool? Do you use do you draw it in like I do? I can't really use bucket tool on Photoshop because it leaves like those white spots, right, where the color meets up with the line. Otherwise, I would just use the bucket tool way more often. The only case you can usually use those is like very small pens, or if you have paint tool side, if you have paint tool side, there's a pixel tool. It's not really what it's called. It's like a binary tool, I think it's called. And you use the brush tool. Yeah, there's this binary pen in paint tool side. And what that does is it makes like 1 pixel wide lines, or if you want it to be bigger, it basically leaves out like those extra colors. It's just the flat color. And that's the easiest pen to fill in with the bucket tool. I use that pen on my Undertale stream, or not stream, on my Undertale video, where I was drawing my 8U. I found it easiest to use that, and I used the bucket tool when I was coloring them in before shaping. Here's the second hair color. I will erase that in a second. Great. Next is skin. Hmm. Oh, okay. Here's a good conversation. Christmas is coming up. That's exciting. That's an exciting thing. I'm pretty sure. So, uh, do you guys like Christmas? Is that your favorite holiday, or do you like another holiday? I particularly like both Christmas and Halloween. So, I think a lot of people choose Halloween if not Christmas, and then Thanksgiving is kind of left out, which is sad. That's a lonely holiday. Well, yeah, and then I don't think I've ever met anybody, or very little people, who said that 4th of July is their favorite holiday, which is interesting, because I mean, independence. Which one's your favorite holiday, Christmas or Halloween? There is another Christmas, yeah. Christmas is a fun fun holiday. I like getting gifts. I will admit. Same thing with my birthday because you get gifts and all that good stuff. Um, This is an odd year to have Christmas or holidays where everyone's gathered together, but it's okay as long as you do it safely. You got your masks on and stuff. You don't have too many people in close proximity or in a small space. Then you should have a pretty normal Christmas. And I'm sorry to those who celebrate with 10 or 20 people at once because you can't be together. Same thing with Thanksgiving. It's a very odd year, and I'm glad that we're almost out of it. We're only a couple weeks out from January 1st, and we can celebrate 2021 and hopefully get on our A game and get everything uphill from here. Right. I forgot a couple lines on that I need to do for the uniform. This school has a uniform, and I don't think I would. I think uniforms look cool just because they look professional. But if I had to choose to wear if I had to choose between wearing a regular outfit and wearing a uniform, I probably wouldn't wear a uniform. And I'm sure many people can agree. And if you don't, that's strange, but I can respect it. Right. The process does take a while to color everything in individually. Something else that I like to do is just color it in one by one. So, like for instance, I finished this suit here, and then instead of going on to the next color, I'll go up and do the suits from here, which I should probably just do now. So there are a few different ways where they're a different order that you can fill in your colors, you can do your line art, you can do the comic in general. And I switch it up every now and then. For instance, if you have read the first chapter, you can see that the style is a little bit different. It's a little bit more detailed. And that's just, I don't really have a reason for switching it up. It's not like I wanted to switch it up, but it's the way that felt natural to draw it. And I want to keep my style consistent, of course. But I think as long as it doesn't go too far outside the realm of what is normal, then it's okay. Oh, that sucks. I don't think I've ever had Chrome like crash on me before. There's a running joke between my friends, and you would know if you happen to be one of my friends watching the stream, where uh, Google updates. Oh, hey, isn't that funny? I completely forgot why I didn't draw the lines on his jacket, and that's because he's not supposed to be wearing a jacket. So let's try that again. I just want to color this side. All of the outfits in this comic had a very particular set. You can see here that none of the outfits are too similar to the other. I think the most common differences between any of these outfits would be, for instance, the color pink, the color black, and the color white. But everything else, apart from that, is very different. And it wasn't intentional, but I like to think that it shows just how different everyone is in terms of style. And maxed out your memory. How do you max out your memory? It's interesting. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I think it doesn't add more to my characters necessarily, but I think it is more indicative. What's the word? Representative of how we all have our different kinds of styles, and I think that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna try to get all philosophical with my story because it's supposed to be interpreted the way you want to interpret it. But that's just how I interpret it, I guess. And it doesn't have to be the right way to interpret it because it's my story. But you can enjoy it or you cannot enjoy it. You don't have to do either of those. I hope you like it. I want to make it so that a lot of people like it, but if one person was the only person to like it, then that would be enough. Also, when you don't have enough memory, that makes sense. That's what maxing out your memory sounds like. Um, yeah. Cool. Is there any other questions that you guys, as my viewers, want to ask me? Or uh, is there anything you want to tell me? You don't have to get like personal with it, but if you want to share like a cool fact or something, even that would be cool. Bloatware. That makes sense. I have Windows 10. I don't think I've ever noticed that my computer is slow necessarily, but that kind of makes sense, I guess. Because I mean, well, that sounds more like a business strategy than just intentionally harming their computers. Because I mean, like you spend money on a brand new computer, the computer slows down, but you just spent that money on a computer, and you probably don't want to automatically return it, right? So you go back and get them to fix it, and that gives them more money. Or if you take it to a technician or something like that, or have like uh, I don't know how to describe it, like an IT guy, technician come in to look at it, then well they'll charge you more money for it. So I guess that kind of makes sense. That is an interesting fact though. Um, isn't it the same thing that they do to Apple phones and stuff? Like older Apple phones when they released a new version. Alright, when I finish this, I think I want to move on with, my next plan. So after this, I'll be taking a couple requests to draw things. They'll just be like quick doodles. They won't be full on pictures or anything like that. Maybe sketches. Maybe I'll color them in, and then from there, I have another idea. I would like to also give you your daily reminder to go drink water. If you have to leave my stream and come back to do it, then go ahead. The hydration is good. Eating food is good. It's between lunch and dinner. You can have a late lunch, early dinner. That's okay. Drink water. Yeah. Alright, so I've pretty much finished the coloring of both pictures of Sinclair. I have to go back and finish the white of the suit since it is a different shade of white than just the color. It's like it's a little bit more gray than the white. As you can see here in that tiny little square, it's very unnoticeable. When I go back to do my very light colors, what I like to do is put a dark background on it. No, I'm not sponsored by water, unfortunately. I wish I was. That would be nice. Imagine being sponsored by water. Not like an actual brand, but just water. How'd that even work? How'd you get paid? Stream is sponsored by water. Water? Water like a plant. Thank you. I am sponsored by water. I am now. This is a sponsored stream by water. I have 20 something subscribers, 28 subscribers, but that's okay. They wanted to sponsor me anyways. And just know that I will be getting paid in water bucks. What's something else interesting? So, I have another YouTube video planned to upload soon. It won't be uploaded this week. It'll probably be uploaded in a couple weeks from now. It's another animation meme. If you know, I've posted one before called the Therefore meme, and there was one that I planned before. You might know the song. It's called "Hey Kids" by Melina. This is a song that's going to be used for that next animation meme, and I'm going to use the characters from this comic, mainly because I think it just fits better than any of my other characters. Sorry. I think it fits better than any of my other characters, and I'm pretty proud of it so far. It looks pretty good from what I've done, despite having only worked on it yesterday. So I hope you guys look forward to that. I have more plans soon after that post that I made on my Instagram about it. And yeah. I say a lot, I just realized. Thank you. So, here's a little secret about this comic. You guys probably never get to see what King's eyes look like. And if you don't remember, King is actually this guy. Wait. Oops, my bad. King is this guy. right here. I'm circling it with my mouse. And he, I wouldn't choose a protagonist to the story, but just to clarify, if I had to choose a protagonist, it would be King. The story kind of starts with him, the story kind of ends with him. I'm not really going to spoil anything, obviously, because that's what makes a story exciting. But he's by far my favorite character. I think if I had to choose a character second to that, it would be Sinclair, and then following that would actually be Evan, probably. If you guys have any questions you want to know about the characters, I'll answer the ones that aren't spoiling that won't spoil the story. Because I mean, I like doing that. I like telling people about my characters. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them within the realms of what I can answer. This next, uh, by the way, this next one is kind of long. Well, not really. Yeah, it's kind of long. It's a few pages. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My first chapter was 8 pages, and this next one is 8 going on 9. The comic? Okay, it's on my webtoon. The description is kind of vague. Um, Basically, it takes place at JWP High School. Don't ask me what that means because I don't know. It's just a random acronym I came up with. But it's a high school. They're in a private high school, which is why they have uniforms. They have that real influential, I guess you could say, uh, uh, student council. Oh, hang on. Before I continue that description, how's the drawing doing? Oh, I haven't continued that drawing since we last talked about it. Okay, back to the story. So it's kind of about the student council, but it's also just in general about these people from different age ranges in the same high school. So Asher and Evan they're not twins, but they're in the same grade. Um, Evan is younger than his brother Asher, who skipped a grade. Or Evan skipped a grade, therefore he's in the same grade as his older brother Asher. Um, Alice and Valerie haven't really come up much yet. They showed up in the towards the end of the chapter, but they will be more prominent for a good reason later in the story. They are both 10th graders, and uh, Alex works in a roller skating rink. I haven't really picked out a job for her yet, but she works in a roller skating rink, and she really likes roller skating in general, which was expressed in that chapter. And Valerie, on the other hand, really likes ice skating, but she can roller skate as well. So they're best friends mainly over that one common interest. And then Sinclair here is very intelligent. It's going to be the same thing with both Sinclair and King. They're very intelligent, but they're also easily they're not very manageable. Guess I should say they get bored because they're intelligent, and that's kind of a common thing that I've seen before. They aren't really challenged, so they get away with a lot of things, and you'll see more of that later. The other two guys that you saw, well, you didn't see the second one, but if you remember, Asher was talking to a guy with black hair and a black and white outfit. No, it's not based off of Unis Anonymous, which would be funny, but it's not, unfortunately. That's Ethan and Wyatt, and you'll see more of them in this next chapter that I'm working on. Uh, the basic idea, going back to what it's about, they all get to know each other. It's kind of about growing up because some people have more growing up to do than others, but they also sort of discover friendship. And it's not going to be like the whole friendship is magic thing because it's not always true, even though it is a great trope to write about. But that's pretty much what it's about. Yeah. Thank you. That was fun to talk about. Is there any, as awkward as it sounded, that was fun to talk about. If you have any more questions, I can take them now. I will be working on the. Not going to do the color for King actually. If you don't want to ask about the comic, you can ask about one of my other characters. You can ask about pretty much anything, and uh, I will answer it. Usually, when I'm drawing, I like to listen to a little bit of music or something like that. Is there any genre that you guys in particular like, or anything like that, or that you like to listen to while you're drawing? I like to listen to whatever feels right in the moment. That doesn't really mean it necessarily fits with what I'm drawing about, but it just feels right to listen to, and then I can draw to that. Alright, so I've been working on the shading for, well, not long, but clearly a little bit now. And I wasn't really sure where I was going with the lighting a second ago, but I've decided that it's going to be like a top down kind of thing. So there's going to be a lot more light from coming from the top, which is why most of this in general is sort of done. And after I finish the shading, I think I'm going to move on to the next part. Mm, I think I'm good with that. I don't know why there's a straight line there. Where's the line coming from? Why? Oh, that's not even part of it. Okay. Ah. Thank you. Oop. Thank you, Jaden. Almost knocked my phone over. Alright. I think this is good so far. I might come back to this later. always remember to save your art when you're working on it, even if you're not done with it. I think from here I will move on to the next part of this. So, if you guys have any drawing requests for me now, I will gladly draw them. I'll be doing them on this document right here. It can be pretty much anything, just as long as it's appropriate. I do have this stream labeled as not for kids, but I just wanna. But anything that's like NSFW, so nudity, anything like that, I won't be drawing. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. It looks like, did somebody just join? If somebody just joined, hello, new people, or person. I'm currently doing drawing requests right now. So if you want to request anything, then you can go ahead and I'll draw it. We've been streaming for about 40-ish minutes now. I don't know how I ended my first stream. We're at about the 40-minute mark. I think it's going pretty good so far. How are you, everybody? I think I asked before, but how's everybody? If there are no requests, I actually have something I think I want to do a little doodle of. Oh, wait, don't want my computer to die. Alright. I think I want to draw a mushroom. And not just any mushroom. It'll be like a little thing. Now here's a question. If you guys like to draw like I do you prefer doing like, how do I say it? Do you prefer doing more cute drawings or scary or just dramatic? I would like to try to draw cute things, but I'm not the greatest at it, which is okay. But I'd like to figure that out eventually. I'm gonna change my brush here. Scary. Yeah, I like to draw scary things. Unfortunately, I don't really think there's any specific genre of portrait that I fit into, and that's not a bad thing, but I would like to be able to do both cute and scary things. and have it be like actually cute and scary. Ooh, actually, maybe at some point I should draw some of my scarier characters. That would be fun. So right now, I'm busy drawing the mushroom. Yeah, I decided to change to a different brush. You'll see it's called Kyle's Ultimate Pastel Palooza. I'm not entirely sure what that means, besides the fact it's a pastel thing. So I want to be able to do some different texture on the line art for this. I'm going to make the head ridiculously small and then draw a body. Yeah, that looks real cute right there. I'm going to draw something else that I did the other day, since I feel like this is good. I wanted to draw a couple things based on like flowers or plants. No, not that. This is going to be fun. And it was like this little glasses dude. It's very cute. So I'm gonna draw it again and hopefully succeed. I don't remember what kind of flower I chose for his hair. It kind of looks like a bellflower, I believe it's called. Hang on, Google is your best friend, guys. I think it's like a bellflower. Yeah, that's it. Bellflowers, I guess, are kind of bluish purple. I'm not really sure if they have more colors than that. Um, that was pretty much what I chose for this guy, but it's only apparent in his hair, really. The rest of his outfit looks like a bear, which is very cute. I like bears. As long as they're on the other side of the screen and not trying to eat me, as I think most people do. So, there's this guy, and he had like a big turtleneck. Oop, there we go, big turtleneck. He had very long sleeves that looked like a bear, and a very long sweater that also looked like a bear. He's just all bear. Darn, that little bit of fur that I did makes him look kind of like Harry Potter. Oh well, Harry Potter has a bear outfit now. My favorite brushes? Uh, if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be the Kyle Ultimate Inking Thick and Thin. It's the brush that you see on the side right now, next to my mouse. It has a lot smoother lines than the regular brushes do, and any I don't particularly use any textured brushes for my art. except for now. So that would have to be my favorite brush. Would be the uh, inking thick and thin. I'm not sure why it's called that. I also keep it on. What is this? I keep it on pressure sensitivity, which means that the harder that I press down on the brush, the bigger it'll get. So there's a maximum size and a minimum size. When you're drawing with a brush that uses the sensitivity, basically you can draw real small lines. For instance, you can't really see it because it's so thin. I'm drawing a very thin line right now. But then if I want to draw real hard, it becomes all dark, it becomes bigger, it reaches that maximum size. Now the reason I like this drawing tablet is because it has a lot of different levels of size that it can reach. I don't remember what size it is, but it's like in the thousands. So basically, however many levels of sensitivity it says it can reach, that's how many levels in general it has. So it could have less. Basically, if you press your pen, say it's not going to have this, but say it has like 4, and you press down hard on it, that would be the highest maximum. But the lower you go on it, it'll only have 4 different sizes it will reach within the sensitivity. So this one has a lot. It's very good, and thank you to my mom, my dad, because they bought it for me, and it's very good. I like it. He has very stubby legs. There. So that's the first guy, and he had like a, I don't know if she was supposed to be like his wife or girlfriend, but I made this strawberry themed girl, and she's also very cute. So I'm gonna draw her now. She had like a special dress. Now, hang on, let me start over on that. She had like a very big, not big, sort of big dress, and it was like strawberry themed. She was basically themed after a strawberry. And I think the best part about it is that even though he's dressed like a bear, I could just make his colors brown and say it's peanut butter and jelly. There's a lot of free time that we've had over the years, so if you guys have also discovered any games or books that you want to recommend to other people, then you can go ahead. I've been playing Fallout a lot this past year. I really like Fallout 3 and 4. Both very fun games. I think that 4 is slowly becoming my favorite of the two. Yeah, I found that they are pretty good games. I heard a lot about them before I actually started playing them. Mainly it's about other people who played them, but I have come to find that I very much do like those games. They're very cool, albeit it can be kind of bloody, but that's sort of expected for a post-apocalyptic game where you shoot things. But otherwise, it's good. I like the stories behind each of the games. The characters are interesting. I like the companions. Or just in general, I like the idea of having companions so that you're not always alone and fighting other people. Cool. And her character is also kind of based off of a rose, but I think I just included the strawberries in there because it looked cool. I like dog meat, mainly because dog meat's a dog, and I've always wanted a dog. That's just cool. Dog meat is pretty cool. I like that there are options to having him or her, like hold the enemy, which makes it a lot easier to shoot. And if I had to choose, yeah, dog meat's cool, but I think so far my favorite of the people I've met as potential companions as a companion in general would have to be Hancock, John Hancock. Uh, for those who don't know, he is a ghoul, and he's cool. I like him. He's cool. I've already reached the top level of companionship with that character, and I don't really think I plan on getting any other companion anytime soon because I don't like Piper. Piper is a reporter, and reporters are nosy, and I don't like that. Um, I wouldn't want to see Dogmeat like die somehow, like if I couldn't get into battle or get to him in battle fast enough. Who else? Codsworth, I think, is cool. I'm not entirely sure what he does in battle, but I also like to think of Codsworth just as uh, like he's supposed to stay back at Sanctuary, which is where the home base thing is. Alright, I'm going to draw another mushroom. You have to dog meat? How do you have to put him down? How does that work? Excited about and then got disappointed when I actually played them. Um, Not that I can think of. There was one time where I got a game. I don't remember when or how exactly I got it or where I got it from, but I wasn't necessarily excited to play it. I was just more curious to see what it was about. Usually, when I'm picking games, I try to pick games. I have PS Now and all that, so I usually try to go through and pick the games that I know especially I'll like. Those include games like indie games or action adventure games or RPGs. So, World of Warcraft wasn't necessarily disappointing. I was kind of excited to play it when I first got it, but it wasn't necessarily disappointing. I could see where it's a good game. I could see where somebody would like playing it. It just wasn't for me. I was more curious to see what it was like to play it than excited to play it. But most games that I've played so far this past year, or discovered so far this past year, I have liked, which is good. If you want recommendations, I would recommend Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I haven't played New Vegas yet, but I hear it's very good, and I will be playing it soon. Um, Hollow Knight is a good indie game. That one is basically about you playing as this thing called a vessel, or the knight. Um, well, you are a vessel, but you're called the knight, and it's like a world where everybody's like represented off of a type of bug, and it's very interesting. It has a cute style. It has good gameplay. The story behind it is interesting. and I don't know everything about it, but apparently it's a very long story, like lore, backstory, which is cool. If I had to choose another one, these are some of the more mellow games. They're not really action, adventure, or anything. Well, they're more adventure, but not any of the action part. Uh, Thomas Was Alone, which is about these colorful squares. Um, The Unfinished Swan, which is definitely an adventure type of thing, but there's not really action. It's more of a puzzle game. Those two are more of puzzle games. Stealth, that one's a good one. Stealth Inc. specifically, Stealth Inc. and Stealth Inc. 2. Those are some favorite games that I played when a while ago. Those are older, but it's good to go back and play, especially since they are on the PS4. What else? That's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. Mushroom dance, whatever could it mean? Next gen consoles? Um, next gen consoles. If I had to, if I could afford them, or even if I could afford them, which I mean, I don't really think I don't think I would get them anyways. Not, I'm not really an Xbox person, although I am related to people who own Xbox, and I have friends who own Xbox. The only thing I would really use it for would be Minecraft, because for Bedrock, especially on PE, you need like Minecraft and stuff to log in, or Xbox to log in. So I have Xbox Live for that reason, but I don't have like an actual Xbox. I don't really play on Xbox, so I wouldn't really get the new one. As for PS5, no. If I were to get it, it would only be to play Security Breach. I don't know. I don't think that I would care to play Cyberpunk or any of those newer games, but it's PS5. I like the design. I like the design of the controllers, especially. I think it would be more cool to have purely because of the way it looks rather than because of how it functions. And I bet it does have higher graphics quality, especially if you have a good TV for that kind of thing. But then you also hear those kinds of things where they push out the product too fast purely because they just want to get it out. They want people to buy it. They want people to be invested in it before their competition can have people invested first. So I don't. If I could afford it, I wouldn't get the next gen console unless they improve it in some way or release some sort of update or something like that. And then of course you hear about the PS5s catching on fire, which I don't think is going to be a common occurrence for everybody. It catches attention certainly, but I don't think uh, it's worth it even with that chance right now. Thanks. As okay for New Vegas, I don't know anything about like the crafting or NCR or anything like that. I'm kind of excited to see what it'll be like since I think of everything I've heard. New Vegas has been the best of the three. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know any responses about Fallout 1 or 2. Uh, People don't like Fallout 76 for reasons I will never know, and I guess as long as it's the most unpopular game, I probably won't play it. But as for New Vegas, I hear a lot about it that's good, and once you sort of adapt to the third and the fourth game, I think it's good to have a challenge regarding New Vegas. Not to the point where it's frustrating, but to the point where it makes the game exciting again. So even if it is challenging with the crafting and the NCR, which I still don't know what you mean by that, I I wait in anticipation to play. Yeah. Oh, speaking of mushrooms, even though even though we weren't talking about mushrooms specifically, but since I'm drawing them, in Hollow Knight, there's a character. He's my favorite character by far, like side character, called Mr. Mushroom. Basically, in Hollow Knight, there's this whole area called fungal wastes, and it's just a bunch of mushrooms everywhere. There's this guy called Mr. Mushroom. He's like a bonus character, and he like sits there, and he turns around, and he talks to you in like a language you don't know at first. You have to get a specific charm to understand him. I don't remember how you get it, but you have to get the charm to understand what he's saying. And then when you can understand what he's saying, you have to go and find him at like 7 different locations. And then once you find him at every location, it gives you a special reward. Yeah. So to understand what he says, you need the Spore Shroom charm. There's a charm system in the game. You need that, and it gives you a secret cutscene after you finish the game, which I think is cool. He just sort of shows up there. You kind of have to go back and forth while you're doing that mission in order to find him in the first place. Um, I think it's kind of worth it though. It's kind of fun to see those cool cutscenes and bonus stuff because he put the extra effort in for that. So he's pretty cool, and I will draw him now. He looks kind of different from like your other game mushrooms. He doesn't have any little arms or anything. Digital art. Okay, so my starting with the program, I use specifically I use Photoshop. I usually use Photoshop for all of my art things. If I can't use Photoshop or if I don't like the way it looks in Photoshop, I will probably move on to Paint Tool Sci, which is a different art program. I'd say that if you're looking for a good art program to start with, that has a permanent license, it would be Paint Tool Sci. So there's 2 versions. You can get Paint Tool Sci or Paint Tool Sci 2. If you want to pay for a license, it's only a one-time pay thing. And then it'll give you a lot of good brushes. It'll give you a good blur, bucket tool, select tool, all of that stuff. It'll give you all that kind of stuff for, I consider, a good price for something that's going to be permanent. If you want to do Photoshop or anything like that, I have Adobe Cloud, which is where I use all of my programs usually. It costs quite a bit of money, but if you're a student or if you can prove that you're a student, you can apply for a student discount from Adobe, which will bring it down to $19.99 a month. I believe the first month is less than that, and then it goes up to $19.99 per month. But then from there, you can use pretty much the entirety of Adobe Cloud. Um, Yeah. So those are the two main things I use for my art. If you want a free one that also has some good brushes, you can use Krita or Krita. I don't really know how people pronounce it. That's spelled Krita. That is a free program that has a lot of good brushes. It's similar in a way to Photoshop, I would say more than Paint Tool Sci. I've seen people make some pretty good art with that. Autodesk Sketchbook is another good one that's also free. It used to not be free, but they made it free like a couple years ago. Yeah, I have all of those programs. Um, and I've used all of them at least once, but Paint Tool Sci and Photoshop are my most common ones for digital art. As for editing, I only use uh, I only use the Adobe Cloud, and that's for a very specific reason. It's because it's very hard to find a good free editing program that encompasses everything you need. If I had to choose a good one, it would have to be like that's free. It would have to be Filmora Go. That's what I use for my oldest videos. That it is a free program on the computer, but there is a premium quality version that you can pay for. It's like Filmora 9 or something like that. And that's good for like basic editing stuff. But if you want to go into a more complex process of editing, you can use Premiere Pro from After Effects. That's very good for videos in general. If you want to do stuff specifically with art and animation and editing that, you would be better off using After Effects, which is also Adobe. For my drawing tablet, I use a Huion. That's like a GT 190 or something like that. I don't remember. Basically, sorry, dropped my phone. Basically, it's a draw on tablet, and what that means is there's a screen on it. So if you have like a regular drawing tablet, it won't have a screen. It'll just be the tablet, and then you connect it to your computer, and then you can just draw on it as if you're drawing on a sheet. It'll show up on the computer. So this is a drawn screen. So it has a screen. You draw on it, and you can look at what you're drawing on that screen while it's connected to your computer. And then, last but not least, my computer is uh, what is it? It's a G3. I don't remember what the brand is. Yeah, it's a Dell computer. I'm pretty sure. It's a gaming laptop. I, of the ones I picked, it was mainly this one because of the performance and quality it has. I won't use it necessarily for gaming all the time. I use it more for my art. But I wanted that high quality. I wanted the fast speeds. I wanted it to have a large amount of memory, so I could keep all of my art on it. So it's pretty good. Uh, those are my two main pieces of technology I use for it. For my microphone, when I'm recording videos and stuff, I have a Blue Yeti microphone. There, I think it's a Blue Yeti, something like that. Yeah, it's just a microphone, a very basic microphone. And then I have a Auphonics. I don't know how to pronounce that. Auphonix. That's what I use for my like microphone filter thing. And I just sort of keep it in front of my microphone. You can attach it to your desk on like any corner you want as long as it fits. And then last but not least, for just like a regular computer mouse, I use a Logitech Bluetooth mouse. So yeah, um, that's like all the technology I use. Also, I just realized for the Adobe Cloud, I would like to correct it. The Adobe Cloud, students and teachers get 60% off the regular price if you can afford, if you can get that student discount. So this is the per month value. If you go right to the Adobe website, it'll tell you this. It goes from $52.99 down to $19.99. Yeah, and for the first year, it's $29.91. Oh, that's for the first year for the student discount, and then after that, it's $29.99. I guess. Yeah, the first year is $19.99. Okay, and then after that is around $30 ish. But it's definitely cheaper than 50, so that's good. Yeah. Oh, for recording, I just want to make sure I can encompass everything in case you're looking to do the same thing I'm doing here. Um, I just use OBS. There are a lot of things that you can use to record, but the very basic industry standard, like free one, is OBS. A lot of YouTubers use it because it's easy, it's free, um, and it can record pretty much anything just as long as you have it set up right. So that's what I'm using to stream right now. That's what I have my mic connected to. That's what I have. I have it recording my Photoshop screen. So for now, I'm going to start coloring these in. I'm going to start with this guys. There we go. Okay, yeah, thank you. It is indeed a Dell computer. It is a G315 gaming computer. Uh, so it's made for high quality things like that. Well, high quality screen, uh, games, things like that with a higher. I think it has a higher memory or just large storage, so that you can put all of your games on it and play. Yeah, I think it's the first computer I've ever had. Uh, this would be one thing I'd say if you were looking to get that as a computer. It's the only computer I've ever seen or used that doesn't have a disk input. I don't know if you would use disks or anything like that on this computer, or if that would be your intent. But it does not have a disk. I'm sure you could connect one and get it to work like that, because there are disks that you can use from outside the computer, but it doesn't have one built into it. Right. Yeah, I've decided to go with like a brown theme for this character. So, as I said before, he's dressed up kind of like a bear. I want to keep it that way. Make him all brown and cute and cuddly. And I'm going with the dimmer palettes like I mentioned earlier today, because I think it would fit on this type of background. I have a very pastel, pale background. So, I'm going to keep the colors like that to fit the background. And then I also kind of want it to look very sketchy, pale, that sort of thing. So these colors work best. Alright, I think I've been, let's see, I'm currently at the 1 hour 20 minute mark. which this I think was a very good first stream. So once I finish coloring these pictures, I might end the stream there. I hope you. I mean, I'm not ending it now, obviously, but I wanted to thank you guys for coming to check out my art while I'm streaming, and I hope you'll be back for the next time. And uh, yeah, I have an idea for the next time I stream, which is what I had mentioned earlier, but I think I want to wait for there to be more people to recommend more songs. Basically, what my idea is, I'll explain it since you guys showed up to begin with. The idea was that you guys would recommend songs to me. This is something I like to do when I don't know what to draw. Is you guys would recommend songs to me, and I would draw a character that I think sort of fits with that song. So it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to look like the person singing it or anything, but it just fits, you know. But I think I'll save that for next time. Right. Is there anything that you guys would recommend I change or anything on this stream for next time? I'm asking this now so that I can go and read it while I draw. Oh yeah, no problem. Alright. It's been a while since my last reminder, so I'd like to remind you guys to drink water if you haven't. I don't doubt that you've been doing other things while I stream, but if you have been just literally sitting and watching the stream the entire time for some reason, go ahead and drink some water or something, because it's good. Yeah. Is everybody in this stream in like the same time zone? That's a good question. I am currently in EST, so it's like 4:30 here. I think a couple people in here are, because I know them. But you know, if you aren't, that'd be interesting to know. talking about, different things that I sort of feel like talking about up until the end of the stream. So for now, I wanted to say that the stream went a lot better than I thought it would go. Not that I thought it would go badly, but I'm a lot more confident than I thought I would be, which is a good thing. Uh, it's good to be confident in what you're doing, and if you're unsure, if you want to do the same thing, then you should go ahead and do it. Because as nervous as I get about doing these things, I know that there's not really anybody or anything who could stop me besides the law. I'm not going to do anything illegal, of course, so there's basically nobody to stop me. And as long as you're comfortable with doing what you want and you can get at least one person to like the stuff you're doing, then that should be enough. Sorry if you can hear that background noise. That's kind of my computer's fan. Uh, I would just not ask why if I were you. Alright, I think. Hmm, yeah, I'm gonna color in a couple more things. Oh, how did I completely miss this foot? I don't. Okay. Yeah, wasn't expecting that. Thought I colored it in. Alright, let me fill in his hair and glasses. And, nah, I'm just gonna. Alright, it's okay. I'll clean this up in a second. I just want to add some blush. Oh, too much blush. And alright, I think yeah, these are just some doodles. I'm sure I'll have more to draw in the future. I will definitely fill up my pages more than I did today. I think I'm going to end the live stream here. So thank you guys so much for watching. For those of you who did come to watch, I really hope to see you again in the future. I will try to stream. I won't try to stream too often, but enough where I can get to have more talks like this with you guys. So, yeah, thanks again for watching. Um, and I definitely want to do that idea that I did that I mentioned earlier with the songs and drawing characters to the songs. So I I think I'll definitely come up with more fun ideas in the future. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time and have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening. Uh, yeah, have a great day, have a great night, have a great evening. You can. Oh, I can't forget to put my credentials. Jesus, what kind of YouTuber am I? Okay, uh, this is just a quick thing. If you want to follow me on any of my other social medias, you can check out my YouTube channel. There will be links in the description of every video, not the stream, but every other video will have a link to all of my social medias. If you want to find my Twitter at bitsweeT, that's with two T's. Um, that will be where my Twitter is. I don't really post on there, but that's okay. I will try to more often. If you want to check out my Instagram, you can go to CocoCoffee P. That's all lowercase, no spaces, or the Man Fam Comics, which is also lowercase, no spaces. That is a fan comic page. And last but not least, if you want to go read that webtoon that I was drawing at the start of the stream, go check out Strangers in Arms on webtoon by CocoCoffee. If you can't find it in the search, it will be under the thriller slash crime mystery tabs or genre in Canvas. And okay, there we go. Now have a wonderful, very wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you for watching. This was CocoCoffee, and I'll see you next time.